cut a pine tree down, fell through the ground like Alice. Oh, what a sound! This must be a nest. I got rocks and sticks against my chest. I'm Alice, dear Queen of Hearts. I'ma grow you white roses, so you can learn to be kind. Tell King of Hearts to arm all his forces, so you can learn to be kind. What a start! Inside out and upside down. No stress, I'ma clean up this mess like Alice. First hand me scissors, then bring out the heavy artillery. Oh, justice is my middle name. I'm Alice. Of hearts, I'ma grow you white roses, so you can learn to be kind. Tell King of Hearts to arm all his forces, so you can learn to be kind. I'ma grow you white roses, so you can learn to be kind.
Good afternoon and welcome to Lunch Therapy. I'm your host, Joel Marshall. Hoy from soggy Southern California. Yeah, you know, it's raining a lot here, and I know there's a lot of crazy weather in the rest of the world that is like much worse than this. However, we're not used to this, and we're not prepared for it, and our ground doesn't suck it up, and our roofs are flat, and so we're having a bit of a struggle over here. Got some leaks happening. Got some loud music that I'm turning down, but it's so great to see everybody here. Got a great thing from Just Jay today, Just Jay comedian. We're going to have some more exploration of the tongue drum. We are okay. Thanks for worrying about us. You know, there's a lot of flooding going on, so some people are not doing so great. If you watch the local news, KCAL 9 with Jeff Vaughn, you'll see it is, lots of not so fun flooding going on. But here at the Casita Exquisita, things are pretty good. I'll show you some of the rain that we were having today. Here it is out here. This is our rain cam. This is the top of our grape trellis. And if you look really closely, you'll see a hummingbird coming into frame. That should be cool. Let's get it on, Guignol. Guinelle's going to be getting some custom shirts soon. We're still trying to work that out. Lunch-therapy.com if you want to get your shirts. Do you see the hummingbird there? Boney, maybe we can get a close-up of it. We are a little wet. Boney, could you zoom in on the hummingbird? Let's see. Maybe. Oh, there it is. Thanks, Boney. So see the hummingbird there? Let's see, get a little closer. Okay, there he is. Hummingbirds like rain. That's the thing about hummingbirds, is people don't understand. People think that they're all sunny birds, but look at this guy just soaking up the rain like it was sun. And my hypothesis is, and I don't know if this is true, but I think I read it somewhere, so we'll have to fact check this, but hummingbirds came about in the jungles because the insects didn't do so well in the rain. They didn't, and you know, there's a lot of rain, so the nectar still needed to be sucked out of the plants. And so the hummingbirds were like, you know what, we're going to evolve and have these really long beaks so we can get in there and do it too. And there you have it. There it is. There's the hummingbird living proof. I don't know what that siren is about. Who knows? Probably flooding. Let's see. Todd Lee is here. Great to see you, Todd. Rain in California. I know. Fill the reservoirs. Build an ark. The problem is it just runs right off. Got any grapes? Todd, I direct you over to lunch-therapy.com because we got some grapes there. We got some great shirts there. Got any grapes? Seattle and LA. Yeah. LA, it rains a lot. That's why we drink so much coffee, of course. I know. We might as well be living up here. I think maybe here, down here is going to be like up there, and up there is going to be like Alaska or something. I don't know. Who knows what's going on? The other thing is live wires and floodwater. Jeff Vaughn. Last night on Topanga Canyon, no, not Topanga Canyon, on Laurel Canyon, there was a gas leak. Somehow, one of those lines came down. There was a gas leak, lit it on fire. Big fire funnel coming up out of the there's no sidewalk there, but right out of the street. Cars driving by. Holy silo. Entire cars being sucked into sinkholes in the valley. That's no good. Heard a good skeleton joke recently. Yes, Boney, would you like to hear that? Let me see if Boney is around. Boney, do you want to hear the joke?
We're having some technical difficulties right now.
Oh.
Sorry.
Oh no. Well, we better. Oh, I gotta do the beginning, Boney. We gotta do the beginning. We can't just jump. I don't know what's going on. Todd, maybe it was a fire geyser. You think? Boney, is that a fire? Could we get some clip of that? No? Boney is like so surly today. I don't know what's going on with him. But we're going to breathe. We're going to do a real breath here today. Holy, player one. Holy. All right, so let's take in a breath, and we're going to do it because I want to tell you about some breathing. Okay, so today on the show, I don't have the agenda, but we're going to have wildlife therapy. But first, we're going to have Just Jay playing the tongue drum. Then we're going to have some Trash Panda Comedy Club. I'm going to work out this routine that I've been working on that I did at the Comedy Store, but I got to delve in deeper because that's what this is all about, delving deeper. So I'm going to put my ass on the line with that. And then we're going to talk about the pineal gland again, because we talked about this last week, and I don't think we got even close to what this thing's about. So I wanted to do a couple explorations of that with two different people. One guy is more of a scientist. The other guy is more of a mystic. And we're going to see what they have to say about the pineal gland and activating the pineal gland and tripping out. No, I don't know. It's tripping out. Anyway, in through the nose, out through the toes. Hold it. Let it go. I'm so gun shy about saying tripping out after our meeting with the people in Port Townsend that were going on journeys. But, I'm still sticking with the tripping out. In through the nose, out through the toes. Hold it. Let it go. Let's do 2 more of these. In through the nose, out through the toes. Hold it. Let it go. There's something interesting up there. Stutz was the movie featuring Phil Stutz, the therapist of Jonah Hill. Jonah Hill made the movie about his therapist. I highly recommend checking it out, but it looks like there's a good book, too, about his tools. In through the nose, out through the toes. Hold it. Let it go. Kamala is always defending the psychedelics, the psychedelic people, I guess. She's sort of psychedelic naturally. It'll be interesting to see the effect the rain has on the moss on my car. Yes. Kamala and I have a car that has moss on it. I think it's good for your car. Is that Stutz from the movie? Yes. The book is called Toolkit? I don't know. Look it up. I'm not saying, hey, you look it up. I'm saying, let's look it up. Yes, Jonah Hill's movie. Watch that first. Amazing stuff. Just Jay. We're gonna see what Just Jay's doing. And then we're gonna attempt to connect with the unified field after I get a little bit of Trash Panda comedy out there. Let's get on with this thing because there's a lot to do. I feel calmer already. I feel good. I feel like energetic. Moss on a car. In Seattle, they know about that. They have tons of moss on their cars and slugs as well. Listen, they're dissing on my car. Nobody's dissing on your car. We're talking about the benefits of mossy cars. It's a freaking classic. You're just jealous. Always a good response. You're just jealous. Unified field coming your way. Oh yeah, just
Good
Jay.
morning, everybody. Oops.
Gotta be quiet on this
Got
one. It's a
my
little low.
Lost shirt on today. I love it. Hey, I thought I would play a couple of songs for you today. The first one is Sounds of Silence again, but aren't the sounds of silence deafening right now, especially along our border, our politics? It's too much. It's too much. But my second song is going to be I Can't Help Falling in Love, because I can't help falling in love with all the hummingbirds and Joel and all the opportunities that he has given me and all the support you guys give me. So I'm very grateful, and I just want to thank you so much. Okay, I'm going to take a couple of breaths.
I'm breathing too.
Okay, here we go.
Getting better and better, Just Jay. Yes.
Okay, let's try Can't Help Falling in Love.
Rocking it. This is awesome. All in one take, too. Elvis's birthday was yesterday, very appropriately. She's drumming up an audience. She really is. Falling in love with you. Beautiful.
I have convinced myself I need a little sound studio. Maybe I'll get better quality and not sound so tinny. But you know what?
That's
coming
awesome.
right now. I'm in my living room. I hope you guys have a great afternoon. And I'll see you on Lunch Therapy. Thanks.
This show is moving today. We're already on to some wildlife therapy. Of course, I've been meaning to show you all this very interesting bird called the shoebill. Some people think it's a stork, but it's not a stork. It reminds you that maybe sometimes you think like, is that even real? Is that a real animal? And I gotta stay kind of away from the beak because the beak is vicious. More on that later. Matt wants to know when Just Jay is going to start her YouTube tongue drum channel. I think that's a good idea. She's a natural tonguer. Yeah. Somebody's going to get a handpan. I'm going to have to do a roving reporter where we go get my hands on a handpan. I think that would be fun. I'm sure they have that in LA, right? I've never seen anybody with one. Anyway, shoebill. Shoebill is... Has anybody ever seen one of these? You probably haven't because they're just in Africa, I believe. They're a large, elusive, stalk-like bird with a prehistoric appearance. Their beak is massive. They inhabit East Africa, freshwater swamps. Distribution is often close to the presence of papyrus vegetation. Look at that guy. That doesn't even look real at all. I can't. He's going, no, I'm a puppet. Nope, I'm a puppet. You thought birds weren't real. Seems almost like proof, right? I mean, clearly, this doesn't seem real. You think I'm pulling your leg, don't you? We should get a shirt with the shoebill on it. That fits the bill. It does. It's a... The shoe does fit the bill. Looks like a doo-doo bird. I think maybe you mean dodo bird. Or maybe that's how you spell it. I don't know. Yeah, that probably is. I probably mean dodo bird. Who says the man buns get to have all the fun, right? Just Jay? Still talking about Just Jay. Why is his bill like that? There we go. Now there's a really good question. The bill, this is not going to be good. This is not going to make you super happy, but the bill has razor sharp edges that allow it to, get ready, drum roll please, decapitate its prey. Yep. Quickly. So there's a big vicious, and you can see it on the tip of its beak or bill. There's a pointy thing that is like a knife, sharp like a knife. and they are known to behead their prey before consuming them whole, which actually might be a nice thing to do, because who wants to be consumed whole while you're still alive and you just snip the head off? You don't live too much longer, from what I understand. It's getting a little bleak. Shoebill is an ambush predator. Can often stand still for long periods of time, motionless like a statue, before launching a vicious attack to kill any prey that come and strike it within striking distance. I used to do that when I was Bugs Bunny at Magic Mountain. I would, stand there still, like I was a statue. This is me as Bugs Bunny. I would stand there still, and then when the kids come over, I would stomp on the ground really fast, really loud, and it just scare the crap out of them. You don't want to do that with older people, though, because they could have a heart attack. So just so you know, I'm not advocating that, but that's what the shoebill does. Just sits there really still. We're like, is this thing still on, or is this a real thing? And then a snap! No more head. Shoebill often feeds at night, too. And they're known to stand on floating vegetation to hunt their prey. They're usually silent, but they also make this crazy sound, which I'm going to share with you. I found this on the web. Hopefully these people don't mind. Just see what the comments are. Big Bird. Yeah. I don't think Big Bird was a shoebill, though. Do you? I don't think so. Let's see what this sounds like. That's what they sound like. Sounds like a machine gun. And there's a guy talking in this video,
maybe he was
too.
feeding somebody, but
I like the commentary. Showbill. Regurgitates his food into his mouth.
oh, someone's coming.
I like that guy. Oh, someone's coming. Never ask a shoebill to... Todd?
She does it too.
Who is responsible for cleaning up? Yeah, it must be a mess. So here's one at the Tokyo Zoo, in case you thought they were not real. This one might be real because it's not in the United States. The United States is the only place, I think, that they do the drone birds, from what I understand. It might be proliferating into other countries at this point, because it's going so well here in the United States for surveilling our population. But yeah, there's a shoebill. Hard to believe it's real. Hard to believe. Look at that big beak. Can you imagine in the middle of the night, you're just walking along, all of a sudden, takes your head right off. And then you're like eaten. One thing I wanted to mention, last week we were talking about the blue whale and how the blue whale comes up from underneath the water and eats all that krill. One thing I wanted to mention is its throat cannot swallow anything bigger than a beach ball. So if you were worried that you'd be, if now after you saw that segment, you're super worried about, swimming in blue whale territory, and you thought, it's going to come up and you're going to get sucked in with all the krill, he wouldn't be able to swallow you. Although a while back on the show, and I don't know what episode it was, and maybe we'll revisit this, but somebody had a story where they were swimming along and all of a sudden they were inside a whale. Like literally inside like a smaller whale, not a blue whale. And they were suffocating. It's a horrible story. And they thought they were going to die, and then all of a sudden they got spit back out. I know. All right, we're going to leave the shoebill for now, and we're going to go into the Trash Panda Comedy Club because I got something that I got to get off my chest. And it's about doctors, and I don't know, I know some of us have parents who are doctors. Maybe some people watching out here are doctors, but I've just been having the weirdest experience with doctors here in Los Angeles. So let's get in there. Trash Panda Comedy Club. Oh, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, Joel Marshall. So glad to be here. So glad to be here. Let's give it up for our host, Boney. I'm Joel Marshall. I've when I was a little kid, I used to have earaches a lot. And one time when I was in elementary school, even, I was in Mrs. I think Kachuk's class. I think I can say that now. I think enough time's gone by. I can say it was Mrs. Kachuk's class. And I had this horrible, horrible earache. And I said to Miss Kachuk, I said, can I please go home? And they were like, no, you don't have, your mom is not home. She's at work, or, whatever it was. They just decided I can't go home. But instead, I'm going to take you to an assembly. And we had an assembly at school. And of course, the assembly was a giant brass band called the Big Orange. I remember this so specifically. I even remember the name of the band, so I think that this is a true story. So I had to go with this. I mean, my those earaches you get where you're just, you feel like you'd rather be dead than have this earache. It feels that bad, and you wonder if, is this ever going to stop? And is there a worm in my ear, like in Star Trek or something like that? And so then I had to trudge off. I'm in second grade, and go stand in front of a giant brass band, just making my eardrum. I thought it was going to explode. We went back to class after that. I'm sitting at my desk crying, just crying. So, I have a history of these earaches, and I didn't know what to do, because middle of the pandemic, middle of the night, horrible earache, like Big Orange style earache happening, just like a Big Orange style earache just happening in my ear. And I got nowhere to go, and Mrs. Kachuk is not there, luckily. And I suddenly realize I have health insurance. I'm an adult, and I have health insurance, so I could go to the doctor. And I've been paying like $1,000 a month for health insurance, and I can now finally use it. So I make an appointment. You have to make an appointment with your primary care physician first. So I go over to the Beverly Hills. That's where you go when you live in Los Angeles. All the doctors, all in one place in Beverly Hills. I go over there, go into the primary care physician, get to the front desk. I figure they're going to be like, hey, welcome. We've been enjoying being your primary care physician, but you have to pay $500 a year to be our patient. And I'm like, what? $500 a year? And yeah, they're like, it's called a concierge fee. This is like a thing now. Concierge fee. I've never heard of it. Is my doctor now going to park my car too? Or is he going to recommend restaurants? Is he going to tell me where the best water slide park is? I don't know. So I'm like, okay. I might, my ear is trying to evict me from my skull. So I'm okay. I'm going to pay the $500. I pay the $500. I don't have $500. It takes me like a week to earn $500, maybe a month to earn $500. But I'm just like, whatever, just take it all. Just take it all. And they're like, wait, we also need a copay, $45. So, okay, I pay that. I go in, the doctor's there, looks at my ear. He's like, you got to see a doctor. Something's going on with your ear. I thought I was seeing a doctor. Hello, Richard Gaddis. So nice to see you. So I am having this horrible earache, and I go to see the ear, nose, and throat doctor. Still a pain. It takes like a week just to even get in. Because since the pandemic, I don't know, it's impossible to get to see a doctor, and you have to pay a $500 concierge fee just for the privilege. But this doctor, I go in there, and I'm like, I go to the front desk, another $45 already. Nothing has happened yet. People have barely even looked in my ear, and I've paid $590 plus the thousands and thousands of dollars I've paid just to have health insurance. And my ear is just like this guy, just, oh man. Do not like it. Look at that red panda. He clearly has an ear infection, as we like to say it. Then there's a lot of comments. Let's see. I was going to be a doctor, but I didn't have the patience. I know, it takes patience. Poor bunny. So finally, I'm in there seeing the doctor. And it's not just me. My wife comes with me. I don't know why she likes to come to the doctor with me. I mean, it's not like, it's not like we're playing doctor. We're actually at the doctor, and there's nothing. I mean, I think she's afraid that they are going to kill me. Like a big shoe bird is going to come out and snap my head right off. And so she's there protecting me, and we're waiting in the exam room. My wallet's a lot lighter, but still my ear hurts. Nobody comes for like 45 minutes. And as many of you know, I'm from Seattle, so I don't say anything. Because I'm sort of accommodating, and I'm mad. I'm upset. But I'm not going to let anybody know that, because we Seattleites like to keep our violence behind the scenes. Because there are so many, serial killers from Washington. That's where all the violence happens. Nobody sees it. Nobody sees it. So finally she's like looking at me like, because she's from Brooklyn. But I'm like, I'm going to do this. I will take care of it. And I will go out there, and I'm like, they did not forget about us. As I'm going, they did not forget about. I go out there, and you know what? They forgot about us. Yeah. Mrs. Kachuk can rot in hell. Oh my God, I can't believe that was said. Take it back, Kamala. I know. Big orange band and everything. Sounds like a story. A kid growing up in the 70s couldn't stay home from school unless he had a fever above 102. That is so true. So finally, the doctor comes in and doesn't apologize or anything. Just like has this big, like, camera rod thing that she sticks in my ear, just sticks it into my ear. And I'm like, well, at least somebody is doing it. And she, you know, you're not supposed to stick things in your ear. Everybody knows that. You don't have to be a doctor to know that. She's sticking this thing in my ear and just into my eardrum. And I look up on this big screen, and there is a giant video of the inside of my ear. And let me tell you something. You do not want to see the inside of your ear. No, it doesn't look like you think it looks. It doesn't have the little stirrup and the hammer and the chisel or the little drum. That doesn't look like that. It looks like Alien Resurrection or something, or more like a colonoscopy than anything. So I can't even look at it, and boom, 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 going on with my ear, and I look away, and on the computer of the doctor's computer that's sitting over here, there is a picture of a Learjet. And I don't know. I mean, you'd think the doctor would be really into ears or something like that, and would have like a picture of an ear, maybe one of those things we saw in high school, those unreal pictures of the inside of your ear. And no, Learjet. And I look around the office, and all there is plastic surgeon brochures. And I realize this is Los Angeles. Everybody is a dreamer. Nobody wants to be doing the job that they're doing. Even doctors. She doesn't want to be sticking stuff in people's ears. She's got a dream. She wants to be a plastic surgeon. And I mean, it's just like, I don't want to be doing this. I want to be on a network television show. And then if I was on a network television show, I'd want to be a movie star. And then movie stars, they want to be directors, and directors want to be producers. And everybody just wants to be rock stars, right? Well, this lady wants to be a plastic surgeon, and God bless her. But I realize that doctor is the only profession, the only service profession where if they don't fix it, you still have to pay. And if you ask them how much it's going to cost, they just look at you like you're insulting them, or maybe you don't care about your health, or they've never been asked that question before. They don't know the prices. They're just, what? And I think they teach them that in medical school, because it's the only way they're going to pay off their medical loans, their student loans. It's the only way. and becoming a plastic surgeon. So when you get home, you get more and more bills, and they can just keep billing you, and their friends can bill you. Everybody can bill you. Labs and blood work and stool samples, everything. And you just have to pay. So I think this is a great business model. And I think that I am going to also institute this. So don't be surprised, hummingbirds, if you get a bill from me in the mail, or maybe from my hairstylist or my image consultant and my new plastic surgeon, former ear doctor. Thank you very much. Okay, now that was the Trash Panda Comedy Club. Now we're going to look at some comments. So many comments. It's good because I need to work out these bits. And this is the perfect place to do it. Sounds like, oh, that's about the story. Yep. What a revelation. People forgot what they pay for. People forget what they pay for. That's interesting. Got to pay to play. Yeah, I mean, $590 just to walk in the door. Such a distressing situation. Kamala is protecting me. Concierge fees. Some people never even heard of it, but it's the new thing now. Let's watch some rhinos eating tasty veggies while we go through this, because that was traumatic. Concierge fee is now how the medical field gets more money on top of their 750% charge they put on the actual cost of healthcare. $400 for a cane that costs $30. And the insurance people are making a lot of that money, right? This is from the Oregon Zoo. You paid $500 concierge fee? I embellished a little bit. I didn't pay it. I was just like, what? What are you talking about? I did one of those myth club things where you're like, they say, we need the $500 concierge fee, and then you're just looking around like you're just confused. Sometimes you can get away with it if you just look super confused. They won't kill you. They make more money if they string you along until you're 80. Yeah, and they start to medicate you, and Cam, he can be my enforcer anytime. She's really good, too. She looks out for me. Thank God. Somebody is, right? I haven't had to follow up on my surgery since October of 2021. Yeah. They're like, yeah, we'll get back to you on that. Nothing. Bills, though, they really can get back to you on that. I know I'm bashing on doctors. I know, but it's weird. Maybe it's just LA doctors. I don't know. Obviously, they save our lives and things. There's good things about doctors, but not in that comedy routine. Nothing good about doctors. And when I did that comedy routine at the Comedy Store, there was somebody sitting there, looked like a doctor. And he was like, concierge fee! He yelled it out. I was like, you know what I'm talking about. Charging extra for inflation. Yeah, I love that too. Everybody's charging extra for inflation. I want video. Mother freaking jet! Yeah, I wish I had the video of the inside of my ear. You would all love that so much. I tell you. Do you have a moth cocoon in my ear? I know, I'm thinking. They didn't know, I didn't say it, but when they pulled that thing out of my ear, they were like, we don't really know what's wrong with your ear. It looks bad in there. Maybe you should come back next week. Pay another copay. First mistake. Beverly Hills is for medical help. Could go 2 for 1 butt implants with an ear infection prescription. You're right. I should have packaged it. This is Venice Beach live. Thank you very much. This is a live feed. It's called teleport.camera, and you're seeing a live feed of the rain and the people running from the Venice Hotel in Venice Beach. Blame the insurance companies. It's not the physicians. It's a good point. I mean, do you take plastic? Yeah. Everybody goes into debt. Clap, clap, clap. I love it. All right, we're moving on, I think. Wait, let's see what Jose says. It's okay, though, because everyone knows that American healthcare is #1 on the planet. Just don't question it. I like that. As I get older and the doctors get younger, I have less and less faith in them. You go to the doctor and the doctor's like my brother went to the doctor and he said, after having COVID, it's it's really hard for me to run a mile. And the doctor said, I can't even run a mile. And he was like, we're not talking about you. I used to be able to run a mile. Call that doctor at 2 a.m. I'm reading that the fee entitles you to access anytime, day or night. I'm going to be calling him every single day and being like, I'm hungry. What should I eat for $500? All right, let's get on with this. That's cool that we can look at Venice Beach anytime. I think we're going to go back down to Newport Beach sometime, which is like a paradise. Just want to do one more thing. Live feed here of the polar bear cubs at the Toledo Zoo. This is a live feed. It's some polar bears sleeping. They had cubs. The cubs seem like they're nursing. Polar bear seems like it's like, I just became a mother. I'm not getting any sleep. Dude, Long Beach looks awesome right now. I bet. I mean, is it raining? It's good to have a family member with you at the doctor to help you understand what they are saying to you physically and financially, especially if it's bad news and you're distraught. It's so true. So true. Question everything. Yeah, you kind of have to be like not a jerk, but kind of difficult, you know? Holy shit. What the? Lori's friend is $500,000 in debt because of her cancer. Yeah, I mean, you just sign your life over. It's, you know what it is, though? It's totally disproportionate to the amount that people make. Like, it's just, and it comes out of nowhere, and you're like, what? And even if you have health insurance. All right, let's get on to something more positive. We don't have that much time left, and I really want to get into this thing. Squeaky wheel, that's right. All right, here we are. This is one comedian talking about science. One comedian. See, now I'm going to talk about medical things like I'm some kind of doctor or something, and I'm not at all. I am a completely unlicensed therapist here. It is a comedy therapist mainly, but I'm going to talk to you because we were talking about the pineal gland, right? There's a really weird sound. I don't know if y'all hear it, but I'm hearing this weird sound, and I might be crazy. Hold on a sec. That's weird. Am I like hearing things? Is that the squeaky wheel that I'm hearing? It's pretty. Oh, I know what it is. It's the zoo. That was freaking me out. You ever have that where you're like, I don't know what that sound is. You've got like a tab open somewhere on a browser and it's hidden. And you're like, I don't know what that sound is. Drive me crazy. Can you hear it? Can you hear it? And people are like, what is wrong with that person? I can't. It sounds like, I don't know what it sounds like. Somebody trying to start a car or something and they can't hear it. And yep. So yes. So let's talk about something positive. There's this guy. Okay. So we were talking about the pineal gland and I was like, and we said that Descartes, the famous philosopher, mathematician, who actually said, I think, therefore I am, if you know that phrase, that was from Descartes. But Descartes, as Greg Wordle says, is a crazy person. I don't know. He was very, obviously very philosophical because he was a philosopher. But he said that the pineal gland was the seat of the soul, right? I think that's what he said. Todd says he has a sound in his ears 24/7. Tinnitus, not great. That sucks. I can't smell. You've got tinnitus. Tomato. Let's just pay $500 concierge fees. All right. I always hear some kind of buzz, probably because of all the loud music through the years. Yeah, that'll do it. When you hear an ear ringing in your ear, from what I understand, you're getting ear damage. Anyway, Joe Dispenza. I don't know if you know who this guy is. Doctor. He apparently was, I think he was a chiropractor. But he's some kind of doctor. And he is also looking at actual data from the brain, scientific data, and matching it up with things like the pineal gland. Why is the pineal gland, why is it's the seat of the soul? why does it somehow, what are they talking about with the third eye? And why does the pineal gland have some relationship to that? So let me see if I can explain this. This is one comedian explaining science. Basically, and I've explained this a little bit on here before, but I'm going to go over it again. There's a little small, a little bigger than the grain of rice that's in your brain, way back in your brain, kind of back towards the back of your head, top of your neck. It's a tiny little gland called the pineal gland, and it's called pineal because it looks like a pine cone. It's tiny. This thing secretes some kinds of different things into the system, but maybe not so much to make you like hallucinate or anything. But what it does do for sure is light comes into our eyes, goes back and tells that pineal gland, hey, it's day. And that pineal gland puts out serotonin, which makes you like, hey, everything's going great. I'm awake and I'm just having a great time. And that serotonin going through your body makes you be awake and not like suddenly fall asleep while you're talking about the brain. But then when it gets dark, signal is sent from the eyes to the pineal gland and says, hey, you got to start making melatonin so this guy can get some sleep. Because otherwise he's going to be up all night like a buzzsaw, like a shoe bill, like somebody with a horrible earache. And then you go to sleep and you get a restful sleep. And during that time, there's a lot of reconstructing that goes on in your body, supposedly. This is what Joe Dispenza says. Potato. Did you know Descartes had a cousin, DeHorse? He was always falling behind him. I think you're putting Descartes before DeHorse. Todd, that's very good. Todd's good with jokes. Oh, I want to mention to you, since we're real freeform in this moment, that Greg Dean is going to be on the show on Friday, and Greg Dean teaches comedians how to write jokes. And he's been doing this for years, done it with thousands and thousands of comedians. One of my favorite comedians, Sally Mullins, took from Greg Dean, swears by him. Lots of people, there's lots of people that we've had on the show that I'm sure have taken courses from Greg Dean. So we're going to actually have him on the show, and he's going to teach us how to be funny, for God's sakes. Punchlines, setups, all that stuff. Todd already knows how to do it. Your images are so cool. Boney, let's have applause for Boney. I got to tell you one more thing about the pineal gland, because this is the thing that I'm really interested in. Tip your waiter, get the soup. Okay, so there's this breathing technique that they do in India and also, other places as well. But it's an ancient breathing technique. And I always wondered why they do this. Why do you do it? So this is maybe one explanation. This guy, Joe Dispenza, says. So the thing is, you take your fingers like this, your thumb here and this finger, and you block up your nose holes, nostrils, and you let one go and you breathe in, and then you close it both up, and then you let the thumb go and you breathe out. So there's these breathing exercises that people do on a regular basis, like people meditate. And it is a form of meditation. But they always said, constrict your stomach muscles so that when the air goes out, you let go of all the air and it kind of caves in. And you see these people sitting in their meditation postures, pushing in letting their stomach go let all the air out of the stomach, and the stomach goes way in. And then they take the air in, they open that up again, and the air comes back in. And they do this many, many times. And some people do it quickly, some people do it slowly. And I'm like, why are they doing that? And I would like some kind of explanation. Please, Bonique, if you can give me some explanation. So this Joe Dispenza, I watched a couple of videos about what he had to say. This is on the Gaia streaming service where they have a lot of yoga and stuff. And what he says is, when you constrict those stomach muscles, you are squishing the lower part of your body. Maybe we would call that the root chakra. And maybe even your tailbone squishes in a little bit. And your spine has fluid in it. Spinal fluid. The famous band Spinal Tap was named after that. The tapping of spinal fluid. But the spinal fluid, I didn't know this, goes up into your brain, and there's all these channels in your brain, and it goes back down, and there's this flow of your spinal fluid up into your brain and then back down. And in 24 hours, all the spinal fluid goes through your brain holes and then comes back down and kind of flushes out the brain. Seems reasonable, right? And so what he's saying is when you do this constricting, and I'm not a doctor, but he's saying you constrict that lower part of your body, it kind of squishes that and makes the spinal fluid flow up into your brain, and it goes up into your brain, and right around where your pineal gland is, there's a lot of fluid, and it squishes it a little. Or, activates it. Let's say activates it. It activates the pineal gland. The pineal gland has these crystals on it, and he says, this is what Joe Dispenza says, you get all this energy. You get lots of energy. And maybe that's what happens a lot of times when you do breathing exercise. You know how you get oxygen in your body, get a lot of energy. He's saying that you get energy from the pineal gland. He says that it makes a field of electricity all around you. And then he goes into some really, really interesting stuff that makes you think like maybe birds aren't real when he says this. But he says the energy goes back into your head, and then you have, first of all, you just feel great. You feel like $1 million. In fact, they say it's better than sex. And you then have visions. Some of them are psychedelic, some of them, but he's saying that this is what he says. The pineal gland is acting like an antenna, taking in all this information, and then you're seeing these incredible images, just like you would on television, like the way a television used to work, or it still works through Wi-Fi or whatever. It comes through the air, and all of a sudden you see, what do you see? Jurassic Park world or whatever. Let's see what people are saying. Capiataship says, I'm sure you can use a course in joke writing. Of course. Can't we all? Why is spinal fluid flushing out the brain? It's a good question. It's bringing, I don't know, blood brings oxygen to the body. We'll have to find out more about this. Isn't that like your core? Yeah, that's your core. You're squishing. And cold fusion. Cold brain fusion. Pump up the brain, pump up the brain, pump it up, pump it, pump it. There must be music. Pump it, pump it. Must be music that goes with that. Sounds like we should all install a small pump in our spinal column. Ask your concierge. Yeah, they make artificial hearts. I was saying that too. They always say that your endocrine system has fluid and it doesn't have its own pump. And I was saying to Kamala recently, I was like, well, what if we made a pump for our endocrine system? What if we made a pump for that? For the fluids that go through our body? What if we made a spinal fluid pump? It's such a good question. Who knows? We might become superhumans that fly about and trip balls, as they say. The crude ones like us. Okay, we now have to move on. We have to move on. It seems like it cleared up outside. Got to get out there. We're going to first dance. Thank you, everybody, for being here and exploring this crazy world that we live in and staying away from Jurassic Park world dominion. Was it good? Was it good? He says skeptically. Was it good? I like Jeff Goldblum. I like him a lot. He's from Pittsburgh, by the way. They don't say that. No one is saying that, Joel. All right, let's get into the dance. Dance bumper coming your way. We're going to have one of our favorite performers. They enjoyed it. One of our favorite performers on the show. We've had him on the show, Adam Pierce. He's doing some Pink Floyd. All right, let's get this thing going.
Welcome back, y'all.
Welcome back,
not
y'all.
the most vocally acrobatic song today, but I want you to stick around till the end. It's the best part of this whole performance. I promise you.
Dancers. There we go. Maybe a lemur. Dance them if you got them. Everybody knows the song. You can sing it if
We
you want.
don't need no education. We don't need no thought control.
Nobody says that.
No dark sarcasm in the classroom.
No reviews.
Teacher, leave them kids alone. Hey, teacher, leave them kids alone. All I know, it's just another brick in the wall. All I know, you're just another brick in the wall. We don't need no education. We don't need no thought control. No dark sarcasm in the classroom.
That's some good answers. We gotta stay to the end
Teacher,
because
leave them
really good.
kids
it's a
alone.
longer song. It's worth it, man.
Hey, teacher, leave
Adam
us kids
Prince is the
alone.
best.
All I know, you're just another brick in the wall. All I know, it's just another brick in the wall.
Solo time. Acoustic solo. See you later, Todd Lee. Oi. Thanks everybody for being here today. Tripping over my balls. Balls to the wall, right? Balls to the wall doesn't mean what you think it means. Bombers. They would push the accelerator all the way to the end. You have the balls on the thing, the accelerator, you push them all the way to the wall. Doesn't mean what you think it means. This guy's fantastic. I'm talking about him.
You behind the pie shed!
I love that he does it.
Stand still, laddie! Alright, I know it got ridiculous at the end, but I'm not making it up, alright? That's what the song does. That's what Pink Floyd wanted to do. So I hope you enjoyed my rendition of it. If you're liking everything else on this channel, please like and subscribe. Tell your friends.
Subscribe to his
every
channel.
Thursday at noon. Till next time.
Woo!